going to say hi, Rada. Thank you for being with us today, and tell us a little bit about your family business before we get into the whole thing. Would you?
Sure. So our business is about Burdeen's Jewelry, about 40 years old. It's my husband's family that started it. In the late 70s, they were in the jewelry circuit. His father actually was an electrician, loved beaded jewelry, or it was in the art circuit, I'm sorry, and would do the art shows and the art crafts and hated being an electrician. So was picked up by a couple small stores and eventually Neiman Marcus, and that's kind of how they started. So they start with their beaded jewelry. Then they opened up their own business in Buffalo Grove in their home. In 1981, they moved into a strip mall and kind of went from there. My husband, when it came into the business, my husband Matthew left college. They're both his mom and dad were just really hardworking people with a goal in mind, and really wanted Matt to join the business. So he left school and got his GIA degree, which is a graduate of gemology degree, and studied from home and worked in the business. And his parents retired about 12 years ago, and I was in the corporate world in accounting and finance. I quit my job to help him. And when I came in there, like I said, his parents retired. We took over the business. There was three of us, and 12 years later, there's over 40 employees and four
Wow,
locations. So we're
wow.
very proud of our heritage, of our hard work, and of our roots, and kind of where we're going now.
So we are talking today because for the last few years, I've been at the Art Center now for 4 years, and we have a common friend in Marla,
Yes.
and she approached you a few years ago and asked you for a raffle item for the Art Center, and it was earrings. And they were gorgeous. And of course, I think that was the year where we only sell 100 raffle tickets,
Yes.
right? And so your chance is 1 in 100, which is pretty amazing. And
Yep.
I think the woman who won that year bought 10 tickets, something like
It,
that.
it was it was it was still a good
So
deal.
it was a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, earrings too. I don't remember who won them, but I think she only bought one ticket. And this year, there is a bracelet that you guys are offering to us, and it's on behalf of the Art Center, and I can say that because I'm the executive director. We really appreciate it, and it's just really nice to have something so special and so fun as a raffle item because it gets a lot of attention, and of course everybody wants it. I'm still
Absolutely.
not clear if we should allow staff, namely me, to win if we win.
Yeah.
So we'll work it out because the first year we tried this online software, and we ran the raffle through the software so that it's totally random. You hit a button and it chooses a winner, and it was me. I,
Oh wow.
in other words, I said, well, that could get uncomfortable. But
Right.
so thanks for your support and thanks for all you do. But the reason I wanted to talk to you was I was thinking of jewelry as collective,
Absolutely.
collection, and we have people who collect art. Now I know who's going to buy what kind of art. I literally had a special event recently, and I invited somebody, and I said he's going to like this guy's work. And that night he bought a piece, a really really beautiful piece. And sometimes you can do that, but can art as a collective you hang on the wall. Jewelry is something you collect, but you can take with you. You can wear and you can show it around.
Absolutely.
So
And
yeah. How do
no,
you get
and
started as a collector, though? I mean, do you buy a ring first? Do you buy a, you know, how would it begin?
you know what, everybody has their preferences, just like in terms of art. It's modern art or classic art, and it's the same thing as going for jewelry. And we truly believe, and not even from what you said, but that jewelry is art. It's a whole journey, a celebratory journey of what you're celebrating and your accomplishments. Either it's celebrating a heritage, that's coming from like a grandmother's beautiful ring, or you're getting married, an engagement ring, and you start building your jewelry collection, and people admire it. I mean, admire it on you. They look at a piece. First of all, it looks different from different lights, just like an art piece does, and how you highlight art from a different perspective. And it's similar how jewelry is looked like that too. And it's a collection because you start with one piece, and it's addicting, just as art is. You look at it
Mhm.
and you get, maybe a beautiful necklace, and then this is an everyday necklace, but you want a necklace to feel special and on Saturday night. So you want an evening kind of a necklace, or you do layering pieces like we do here. I love to stack. I mean, I've got two necklaces on, I've got two rings on, I've got multiple bracelets on. So that's kind of how it works. And it's definitely wearable because just like people comment on art and they want to know the history, jewelry has a story. Either it's a story because it's an antique piece, or the piece somebody who designed it, or it's a story behind how you achieved it. Why do you have this piece of art? Why did you choose this piece to have? So, and it's something that people collect and pass on to generations. So it's very, very similar to definitely to collecting art. And I think it's the same type of thing where you get a piece and it kind of starts to snowball from there.
So can you look at a piece and say this is from like the 1930s or something by the style of it, or is jewelry more like longer lasting in its styling?
Definitely. I mean, definitely different decades have different trends. We have a large estate department that we carry, so we collect jewelry. Matt and I love to travel the world. We cherry pick a lot of the pieces that we have. They're not, factory made in numerous quantities. So everything has a story. So it is become extra special. And so, Art Deco pieces are more angular. They have different kind of sets of stones in them. There, we've got rose cut diamonds that were the diamonds that were mined early on in the century that don't have as many facets as the diamonds that have now. So that definitely does have a story. And the way jewelry is made, just like art represents different decades and different styles. Jewelry does the same. So rose gold used to be super popular. Early on, rose gold's very popular now. In the 80s, everything was white, or yellow gold. Very like sharp and like angular. If you look at the rings that were popular, the engager rings or marquise, the stone that was popular. It's just
Mhm.
very, very similar.
So when I go to somebody's house and I see art on the wall, of course, that's what I'm looking at. I look at the art on their wall and the books on their shelves too, because it's two things I love. But if their art is a little bit crooked, I want to straighten it. So do you ever do that? Do you look at somebody and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be wearing that with that," or can you not look at jewelry when you meet somebody or when you're out in a crowd?
I'm absolutely looking at jewelry when I meet somebody, and our custom department is very fine tuned. We have a factory in LA that we deal with some of the best jewelers. So we're very precise in how we set stones and how we, the kind of quality of gold that we use. So that's something that's very important. Is probably similar in how you maybe look at different kind of art, or, like
Yeah.
what makes an art piece more expensive, more fine, for example, versus something that's, more mass produced. So we're definitely looking at quality. So when I look at people's, especially engager rings, because that's an easy thing, and you're like, oh, let me see your ring. And it's like, you take their hand and you're like, oh, you know, either it's a beautiful piece and it's set beautifully in a beautiful stone, or it's, you could tell that it's more of a mass produced piece. So very, very similar kind of like, and I feel like the jewelry on a person kind of completes the look. Just like if you go into a home and maybe they have beautiful furniture, but there's no art on the wall, and the walls are very bare and cold feeling, it's like you don't have that warmth. And it's the same thing with jewelry. Jewelry is like that fine last piece of your whole look, where you could be, maybe wearing a beautiful outfit, but nothing to adorn you. So jewelry is kind of that last piece that ties it all together.
Do you think that women always need a necklace? Somebody said that to me once. Well, women always, no matter how fine, no matter how little, no matter where you are, you're at the beach, you're in the pool, you're at you always need a necklace. Is that true?
I mean, I think it's true. I love necklaces. I love multiple pieces. Either it's, and the thing is with, with earrings, sometimes, my hair is covering up my earrings. And necklace, it's, you can wear it on top of your clothes. You can wear, if it's showing. So it's an easy piece to show off all the time. So, and it's kind of like highlights this whole like upper portion of your face, where it's easily visible. So I do think that. I think it's a nice piece to have.
I remember the earrings that we had 2 years ago at the benefit, and we had Zoraida Stambola
Yes,
from
yes.
Channel 5, the
Hmm.
newscaster, and we asked her if she'd wear them, for it. And and she loved them. And she, first of all, she said, "Well, you're not getting them back now because I've worn them for so."
Yeah,
But she just, I just remember how fun it was for her.
of
She really
course.
loved putting them on, and then we had her the next year, and that was the year we had to go virtual. But she recorded it for us from Channel 5 studios, and she was wearing them, and she showed them off
Yeah,
again too. But
yeah,
it's kind of like when I think when you put on certain clothes, it improves your mood and it improves the way you feel and stuff. So jewelry,
absolutely.
it has to be like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a celebratory. Usually, you're buying jewelry to celebrate something. You're either getting engaged or you're celebrating a milestone birthday, for the big occasions, or it's your anniversary, or there's some. It's surrounding some kind of happy occasion in your life. So
Mhm.
it's really that final piece, because it's nobody needs jewelry, just like nobody needs art. It's something that people want. So it's a nice way that completes everything, because it's something, like we said, we tell people all the time, we don't sell food here. You don't need to sleep here, you don't need to eat here. This is something you come in because you choose that you want it. Just like art, it's something that makes you happy, and it's something that, again, it's a want, it's not a need. So we love to be part of this luxury business, just like it's art, and we love to be part of people's celebratory times.
So if somebody was buying their first piece of art and they, you know, told me their budget, and I could say, buy a print or buy this, or if I was at their house, I could do that. Can you do that with a person when they say, "Well, I want to start buying jewelry or something like that"? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can always, what's nice about jewelry is that you can layer. So if whatever your budget is, we'll be happy to help you. And you start with that smaller piece if that's what all you could afford, and then you build on that. You build, if it's in a a smaller ring. We always give you back the money that you paid for in a stone, to upgrade anything that you'd like, for your lifetime. And the same thing, you start with like a small necklace, a small bracelet, and they can always grow and build upon that, because again, we want to be part of somebody's jewelry experience, their lifestyle in jewelry. So even if
Mm.
it's something that is your first job and you're starting out, like for a man, you want to have a beautiful timepiece because you're wearing suits for the first time because you just graduated. So you want to build upon that. You build that jewelry wardrobe, just like you build your collection of art. And it's always fun to look back on that. Look at this. This is my first piece. I got this when I was 25, and this is all I could afford, and it's wonderful. And you look back, and then I think those are the most special pieces that you probably cherish more, just like you're probably your first piece of art. When you've made it, and it's easier for you to afford pieces. It's that like anything else in life, that initial feeling you can never have back again.
I have a piece of art I've had since I was 11 years
Yeah.
old, and it's traveled with me ever since. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an immigrant from the Ukraine. I moved here when I was 3 years old. So
How did
so
I not know that, especially right now?
yeah, I'm from Kiev. I,
Yeah.
w- I was
Okay.
born. I was born there. Now, of course,
Wow.
it's more special than ever. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring a lot of things with us. I do have a little picture that my grandmother gave me before we left the former Soviet Union. Just a little picture of like two kids playing on a playground, maybe 5 by 7, like a little print. And I still have that. That's one of the things she gave me. My grandmother ended up passing away, before I never saw her again, after we left the former Soviet Union. And that piece is, I mean, beyond special to me. So I have that in my bedroom, near my nightstand. And that's like the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning, and the last thing I see when I go to bed.
Wonderful. I did not know you were from Ukraine, especially with everything that's going on right now. But
No.
um, it's well, we don't want to go there today
No,
anyway,
no.
because this is for something else. But offline, at some other point, I'll tell you something that was going on here. But and I'm trying to keep this to 15 minutes, and we're very very close. We're actually running out of time. But do you who designs the jewelry that you guys showcase?
So we don't carry designer brand jewelry. We love to, like I said, we love to travel. We love to cherry pick our jewelry. We travel all through Europe, go to small jewelry designers, like little independent people that make one-off, two-off pieces that we like to pick. So we do love to cherry pick. So Matt is a graduate gemologist. He's an amazing artist, so he's able to custom make, and we do have a custom designer here as well. So we don't carry branded jewelry, but a lot of the jewelry comes just from our travels. to different jewelry shows all across the world. And again, we have a huge custom department, so we do have a designers on staff that can design anything, but we don't really carry, large branded designers. That's always been our thing.
So that is like going to a gallery where they represent, where they cherry pick, who they like and which
Absolutely.
pieces that they have. So it's actually worth a trip.
Yeah, because we don't want to carry things as you can see in Neiman Marcus that you can carry at all in 15 other jewelers. I mean, watch brands are different. We carry a lot of watch line. That's a little bit different, but jewelry really, that's kind of creates that whole special experience with jewelry for us.
Right. Okay, well, I just hit 15. That was the sound going up in the background. Anything else you want to share or tell us about? Because it's really, I know I could actually ask you more and more about it, but I want to keep it quick because we know people don't watch longer than 15
Yeah.
minutes. That's the magic key.
No,
But anything else?
Yeah. I mean, just what we talked about. We love being part of somebody's, jewelry, the lifespan of their jewelry to kind of from the beginning to the end. So the generation to generation. I mean, because we've been in the business for 40 years, we're getting, people's kids and grandkids that are getting engaged now. We love being part of, celebratory times. We love designing. So it's a wonderful business that we still, cherish, that we're family owned, that we're small and really kind of stick to the roots of, of what we built on.
I said I want to go, but as you said that, I just had a realization in my bedroom. My wife has jewelry that she's gotten from her grandmother and her great grandmother, and they were Sephardic, and she's got both sides of a lot of history in these pieces, and these are older Sephardic pieces, so they're ornate but really intricately done and finely like woven gold and things. But when she's not wearing them, she's got a picture frame with like a cloth insert. So she actually puts them in the picture.
Oh, that's so special.
It's art until she puts it on, and then it's art of a different type. But
right,
it literally is framed in our room like any other painting or picture that we hang on the wall.
Well, again, it's a story. It's a story. You're looking at the piece. When she's looking at the piece, either it's on her or in this cloth in this picture frame. It tells a story, just like art tells the story. You look at the different, movements in the art and the different perspectives, and it's a story. And that's what people love. People love relating to the story.
Right. Now, and I'm going to let you go. You're in Buffalo Grove right now.
Yes.
How do we find you in Buffalo Grove?
We're on 1151 West Lake Cook Road, 15 minutes west of Lake Cook. West of Northbrook Court on Lake Cook and Arlington Heights Road. So pretty easy drive from the North Shore. And we're in a big building, our own building. So we're very happy to be here.
Okay. All right. So once again, thanks again for your support for the Art Center.
Of course.
It makes a huge difference for us. I hope you'll be at our benefit this year if you're in town.
Yeah. Yes.
And nice to meet you. Nice to talk to you. And thank you.
I love the piece that we donated this year. It's a really interesting piece. It's very artsy, and it goes with your whole theme of, I forgot, what's mesh, feminism. What is it? Feminism.
Fiber, fashion, and feminism.
Fiber. Yes. So it's like that whole mesh bracelet is such a cool artistic piece. So it's really beautiful, made really pretty. A lot of intricate work.
I agree. I'll get a picture of it and I'll attach it on the end of this conversation.
You got it. You got it. So nice to see you, and we'll see you at the end of April.